How's it going, everyone? I'm Sean and welcome back to the channel. So if you're looking to get into guitar building or even just guitar tech work or repair work, anything like that, you will notice that there is a huge amount of tools out there. It can be very difficult to figure out what tools you need to get started, and that's where I'm coming in. This is part of my essential tooling for guitar building list. In this list, I'm going to be going through pretty much all of the tools you need to do fretwork. Now specifically, this is for all of the work after the frets have been installed. So if you are repairing or working on an older instrument, this is the video for you. If you are looking to install new frets, it's not quite the video. It's most of the video, but not all of it. There are 7 tools on this list, and of course I've got a bonus one as well right at the end, which is nice to have, but not essential. So grab yourself a nice hot cup of tea, coffee, whatever you want, get comfortable, and enjoy. I'm going to be going through this list, not in order of importance or essentiality, which is a word, probably. I'm going to be going through this in order of job and order that I would do the jobs in. If you want to see how I level, crown and polish some frets, I've done a video on that, so check that out. There will be a link below and a link up in one of these corners. I don't know which one it is. Jumping straight into it, we need to check if that neck is straight before we start. You cannot just lay a straight edge on the frets and gauge it by that. The frets could be wrong. The frets are probably wrong, which is why you're doing a level, crown and polish. You're going to need a notched straight edge to set around the frets onto the fretboard itself, and then you can use that to gauge how straight the actual neck is. So a notch straight edge is absolutely necessary. It needs to span the entire neck, or most of it at least, but there are specific notch straight edges for guitars and for basses. So if you're planning on doing a lot of building, unfortunately you're going to need one of each. But a notch straight edge needs to be the first step that you do when doing level, crown and polish. Once you've established that your neck is straight, or as straight as you can get it, you're going to need a way to actually level those frets. And a leveling beam is the way to go. I like to have them as long as possible. I personally use an 18-inch beam, and I will use 320 grit sandpaper on it. If I'm doing stainless steel or frets that need a lot of leveling, I may use 240 grit, 220 grit, whatever it is that you have available, just to rough it out. In general, the finer the grit, the finer the kind of resolution, as it were, will be on the frets, therefore the more accurate they will be. If you wanted to get weird about it, you could probably sand the tops up to like 2000 grit. I personally don't, 320 is enough for me, but you do need to level the frets, and a leveling beam is the way to do it. Once our frets are nice and level, as in the tops of every fret are in line with each other, you are going to need to get rid of that flat spot. A flat spot is not going to be accurate enough. When you fret the string, it's going to sit somewhere along that flat, which is not accurate. Your intonation is going to be off. We need to crown the frets. And there are a lot of different tools on the market for crowning. Some of them I do not like, such as profiled fret files, and I think they should be avoided. There are other ones like, I believe StewMac does a Z file, Z file. I haven't used that one before. Looks good, I'm not sure. Seems a bit expensive for my taste. My personal preference is a traditional 3-corner file. That is effectively a triangular file that has safe edges ground on the 3 corners. With this file, you can see what you're doing, and you can use it to crown the frets effectively. Again, for how to do that, check out my other video that I've done previously. I go through everything on it, and I show you exactly how to profile your frets back to a nice round shape with an accurate, sharp intonation point on top of the frets. But a crowning file is the way to do that and the way to achieve that. After crowning, there is an optional step here, and that is to use a fret end dressing file or a fret finishing file just to refine the ends of the frets. After leveling and subsequent crowning, you can be left with a hard edge around the end of the fret, and a fret end dressing file can be used to just knock that edge right off. You can do that with sanding, but a file will just quicken that step up just that little bit. I'm going to interrupt your video here really quick, guys, just to ask that you consider hitting the subscribe button down below. It means a lot to me. It helps me out a lot with YouTube, helps me out a lot with everything in general, helps me to create more content going forward. I can see from my analytics that most people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed, which is fair enough. I am not going to chastise anyone here, but I would really appreciate if you would at least consider hitting the subscribe button. But I won't take up any more of your time. Back to the video. As I've just touched on, sanding. Sandpaper is the next one. You are going to need a range of grits of sandpaper going from 320, used for leveling, right up to 800 or 1200. Depending on how you're doing it, you may want to even go up to 2000 or 2500. What grit you go up to is a combination of personal preference and tooling. Some methods require you to go up as far as 2500. If you're doing it by hand, you need to go up to a higher level. But if you have some way of mechanically buffing that can do more work, then you can go a little bit lower, save yourself a little bit of time and hand cramps, because your hands will cramp if you're doing a lot of sanding on frets. You know, there's usually at least 20 of these things. It's going to take a little while. After sanding is going to be buffing. A couple different tools that you're going to need for these. The easiest thing is tissue paper and autosol chrome polish. Simply enough, you get a little bit of the autosol, put it onto some of the shop roll or tissue or whatever it is that you're using. Use a bit of elbow grease, go to town. Gives you really, really good results. That would be my recommended way of buffing. Another way would be to use a Dremel with jeweler's rouge and a small buffing wheel attachment. That is another possible way to do it if you're at home. I'm not as big a fan of this. It can overheat the fret quite easily. I've done it before where the fret goes blue. Yeah, not proud of that one. You kind of have to give it a bit of welly to do that, but it's very possible. And also you've got to lay out for a Dremel and it's loud. Basically, that's what it comes down to. So between those two methods, I would be saying stick with the autosol. It's a lot easier, it's a lot cheaper. And the results are just as good, if not better. After that, your frets are good to go. If you've gone through my list, you've gotten all the tools that I'm mentioning, then you're fine. You are ready to go for your level, crown and polish. But I did say there was a bonus, and of course there is. And that is a buffing wheel. You can get a large buffing wheel, set it up with a mop and use some different compounds on it. This will greatly speed up the whole process and give you a fabulous result. Personally, the way I use everything, I will only sand up to about 800 grit, and then I will go onto a buffing wheel and I'll use two different grades on the buffing wheel. A heavy cut to do a lot more work on the frets in lieu of sanding them up to 2000 grit, and then a finishing compound which will put a shine on them like nothing else. Buffing wheels, not essential by any shape of the imagination. You need space for them. They are messy, they are loud, they can be potentially dangerous. They give a fabulous finish and they save a lot of time. It's one of those ones, really nice to have, really nice to use, absolutely not essential. Like all of my other bonus tools in my series. And that is it. That is my list. If you go through that list, you get everything on it, you will be fully kitted out to do fretwork and get your guitars playing beautifully. As I mentioned at the start of this is not everything for refretting. This is relying on the assumption that there are already frets installed in your guitar. If you liked the video, make sure to go down below, give a like, leave a comment if you've got anything to say. If you agree with the list, great, let me know. If you think I've missed anything, if you think there's anything in here that you don't agree with, you've used, you don't like them, please let me know. If there's something that you have used that are not the profiled fret files, I think they suck, go down below, let me know what they are. I'd love to try them out. I'm always looking to improve my own method and I am all ears. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I will see you all again real soon.